Okay, good morning, Year 12. So today's lesson is going to be really short, okay? So it'll be a nice bit of relief after all the histograms and things. Really, really short, kind of straightforward lesson for us to do today. So it won't take you very long to complete this lesson. Not much really more that you need to understand here. It's all based on kind of previous stuff that we've learned. So it should be a nice last lesson before your assessment week, okay, and before next week when you're going to obviously be revising. So today we're going to be talking about comparing data. We've done a little bit about it, but we're going to go kind of a little bit more in depth about which data you should use to compare. So here's the main thing that's really, really important, is when comparing data sets, you comment on a measure of location and a measure of spread. They're the two things, and we know that already. But here are the two things that you can use together. So you can have the mean and standard deviation. Those are two things that you can talk about. So the mean being a measure of location, and then standard deviation being a measure of spread, or the median and the interquartile range. So the median being the measure of location, and then the interquartile range being a measure of spread. So those two are fine. You cannot interchange the two. So you can't use the mean and the interquartile range, and you can't use the median and the standard deviation together. They're terrible crosses, aren't they? I'm going to try and do that again. So you can't use these two combinations, okay? It has to be these ones here, okay, that you talk about together. The mean and the standard deviation, or the median and the interquartile range. Must be one of those two things. And obviously the question that you're given will kind of tell you or indicate to you which ones you should use. So here's your first example, and your only example for today. It's from the book, so you can get this out in front of you if you've got your book. And we can get ready to go. So from the large data set, our favourite, the daily mean temperature during August 2015 is recorded at Heathrow and Leeming. So for Heathrow, sigma x is 562.0 and sigma x squared is 10,301.2. So remember that sigma means total, okay, the total of something. So it's the total of the x's and the total of the x squareds, okay. So calculate the mean and standard deviation for Heathrow. So the mean is the first thing. The mean x bar, firstly, 31 days in August, which tells us what n is. So n is 31 to calculate the mean. You must know how many days are in each month. If you don't know that, that's something maybe you need to have a look at, okay? Come up with a way that you can remember how many days are in each month. So 31 days in August. So your mean x bar is sigma x over n. So the total of the x's over n. Okay. We're told what sigma x is. We know that n is 31. And so 562.0 over 31 gives this 18.12 ... which to one decimal place is 18.1 degrees Celsius to one decimal place. Okay. So that's the mean for Heathrow. Then the standard deviation, little note at the bottom. Remember when calculating the variance, which is the standard deviation squared, you can remember the phrase, the mean of the squares subtract the squares of the mean. So remember the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So that's why we're going to have a square root sign involved there. So your standard deviation, that's the Greek letter that gives you the standard deviation, is the square root of the mean of the squares minus the squares of the mean, okay? And then if we put our numbers into there, so we've got the mean of the squares minus the squares of the mean there, we get this number here, 1.906 blah, 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 which is 1.91 degrees Celsius to 3 SF, okay? So there we go. For Heathrow, we've got our mean, and we've got our standard deviation. Good bit of revision there for you on how to calculate the mean and the standard deviation, okay? Now, part B says compare the data for the two locations using the information given. So we've got the mean temperature was 15.6 degrees Celsius and a standard deviation of 2.01 degrees Celsius. Okay. So comparing those two sets of data, firstly, we're going to talk about the mean. The daily mean temperature in Leeming was lower than at Heathrow, suggesting that on average Leeming was colder for this sample of the month of August. That makes sense, right? The daily mean temperature in Leeming was lower, therefore it's going to be colder. Okay, that's compared the measure of location. Now the measure of spread, which is the standard deviation, okay, we'll talk about the standard deviation now. So the standard deviation for Leeming was higher, it was 2.01 than for Heathrow, showing that the data was more spread out than at Heathrow. So the data at Leeming was more spread out than the data at Heathrow, given by the fact that the standard deviation was higher there. Okay, and there we go. There's our two comparisons there. The mean and the standard deviation compared really nicely there in context of the question. Okay, now make sure you've got all that written down. Remember, pause the video whenever you want to catch up, write anything down. So what we're going to do today is only 4 questions from exercise 3E, and then we've finished chapter 3, which is quite a nice place to finish on really before your assessments. So you've only got questions 1 to 4 to do. Now what I meant earlier by saying how the question would kind of indicate which pair to use, obviously if you've got box plots here, how are you going to do the mean and the standard deviation from the box plots? You're not. So you're going to have to use the other one, which you do have, which is the median and the interquartile range, which you have for both of motorway A and motorway B. So you couldn't use the mean and the standard deviation. The question here says you should use the median and the interquartile range. So the question will kind of dictate to you which pair to use, okay? And again, compare the distributions of the speeds on the two motorways. You're going to have to compare the medians and the interquartile ranges of each of them, okay? And kind of interpret them in the context of each of the questions. Okay, any questions, please let me know, but I think this should be quite a straightforward exercise for you to do, nothing too difficult. But remember, email me at any point if you're not sure of any answers or anything like that, or if I can help you with anything. And I hope you have a lovely day. All right, bye.